I don't get it.
Podcast. Hi, everyone, and welcome to a very exciting edition of the I Don't Get It podcast.
One may even call it holiday-ish.
Holiday-ish. It is. This week, Thanksgiving, one of our three favorite holidays because it is a holiday dedicated to food, which is near and dear to all of our hearts. But we figured we would have people call in and share stories about their in-laws. Because
the scariest kind of stories.
Going off of, the J-Lo movie, we're going to title this episode Monster-in-Law, because these are going to be all horror stories of your in-laws. Now, I am so blessed to have the greatest in-laws ever. Like, they are the antithesis of a monster-in-law. Like, they could not be nicer.
You literally are so lucky.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me because obviously you guys know I have no relationship experience. So I can't imagine like falling in love with someone. They're my person. And then their mom or their dad just doesn't like me. Or is so
it makes
mean.
things very difficult.
I mean, I can't imagine. That's so scary.
That's
Could
so
you imagine
scary.
like
That's what
being
I mean.
like being worried every time you step into your in-laws' house?
Have you guys ever had a weird experience with anyone you've dated, like with their parents just like not liking you?
Lauren.
Because
I'm crossed out of this conversation as well.
No, I think everyone's been pretty chill. I haven't like hated going anywhere with someone else's parents. I would prefer not to be with them, but you know what I mean? Like it's not like Yahoo, but like everything is
for Lauren.
fine
It was
good.
For Lauren. It was reversed. She didn't like them.
No, I think it's all been pretty good, and I usually hate everyone, so it's actually been pretty good. I have no monster-in-law stories.
Well, my
Really?
father-in-law is such an angel that like before Jared and I were even together, he was like, you know what, Ashley, we have no idea what's wrong with him. They were like, we're all rooting for it. We're hoping that if he moves to LA, he'll be like, know, that like something will bloom.
Yeah.
He's like, all of us root for it. It's just like, let him be in his own time.
That is literally dream case scenario, not because some people are rooting against them being with the person. These people are literally rooting for Jared to wake up.
Yeah, so sweet. So sweet.
Amazing. All right, well, we're excited to listen to some of these in-law horror stories, monster-in-law stories. So let's get the first person on the line now.
What's up, guys?
Hello, guys. We got our first caller on the line.
Anonymous number one.
Everybody will remain anonymous for obvious reasons on this podcast. So, yes, please tell us your experience with your in-laws.
Okay, so my mother-in-law. Okay, let me just tell you all. Whenever I started dating her son, like, I'm in high school. I'm a junior in high school. I'm 16. Like, she was cool. Like, it's like I gained a second mother. Like, everything that I went and, like, did with my mom, I did with her. Like, we went shopping, out to eat. But, like, whenever our relationship got, like, more serious, like, you could just tell, like, the jealousy, like, started. Like, she just was not having it. Like, I was taking her baby boy away. Like, for real. But, so my husband joined the military.
Because now you're married.
Well, no. Okay. He's my husband, but no, we were not married at this time. I'm like 18. He's like 20.
But
Sorry.
currently you're married. You ended up marrying this guy.
Married.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he got deployed to Afghanistan and, like he would call us at like random ass times and like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got a call last night. And she'd be like, oh my God, I didn't. Like, you could just tell, like, oh my God, like, she was not having it. And I was, like, in charge of, like, everything on his end while he was gone. Like, family functions, I always, like, attended on, like, his behalf. Like, gifts and stuff. Like, I would send everybody in his family gifts, like, from him. Not really from him. Like, obviously, he's in a different country. He doesn't give a shit. But I sent my mom flowers from my boyfriend at the time while he's in Afghanistan on September 13th. And she, like, posted on Facebook, oh, my gosh, boyfriend's the sweetest. Got me flowers for my birthday. I forgot to send his mom flowers on the 22nd of September for her birthday. she was fucking livid. Like, she didn't know I was sending this stuff on, like, his behalf. And she was like, how dare you forget your mother's birthday? I'm like, oh my God. He's like, you got me in so much trouble. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. Like, but okay, fast forward to like when he came home from this deployment, she would like bring that up all the time. Like, I can't believe you forgot my birthday. Like,
to
whatever.
you or to him? At this point, did she know that it
No.
was you sending?
No, she just thought like he cared about my mom more than her or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
And so then this is when everything sort of took a turn, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess I did this to myself. But, okay, so while he was deployed, gone for a year, I was like, okay, I don't need birth control. Like, that shit's, like, toxic to my body. I'm not going to take it. So, like, the week before he came home, I was like, shit, I should have, like, started my birth control. So, started that, like, probably 2 days before he came home. That's not effective. We got pregnant. I'm 19. And, everybody's like real supportive, whatever. And let's just fast forward to like the delivery room. This bitch, like she wasn't even like really invited to this delivery room. Everybody just like assumed position. Like my mom, my boyfriend at the time, like we weren't married still. And then his mom, like that's cool. First grandchild, like everybody's in this delivery room. I am like getting handed my son. Like, he's crying. He is, like, gunk all over him.
Oh, my God, she takes it.
I hear the entire waiting room in my ear. I look over. She has me on FaceTime. I have my boobs out. My crotch, my legs are wide open. I'm like, I look at her. I said, are you serious? Like, that's all I remember about meeting my son. Is just looking at my mother-in-law saying, are you serious?
How embarrassing.
Everybody was in that fucking room. I'm gonna stop saying that word. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
My family, like my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, his grandparents, his aunts and uncles, our friends. So like no telling who all saw that FaceTime call, but I know for sure like my best friends saw it. They were like, your face. They're like, we could just tell. Oh my gosh. And yeah, so like I still like even I just think about that time all the time. I'm just like, ugh.
And then
like,
you had a second story that you submitted, and I was hoping you could briefly tell us that before our next caller comes on.
I have a better story.
Okay,
Go for it. If you believe it's better.
Oh my gosh. Okay, my son's first birthday party. Okay, we open gifts, do everything. My boyfriend. His father gets on his knee, asks me to marry him. Literally shocked.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait, what?
Her boyfriend proposed
My
to
boyfriend.
her.
During the birthday party? Okay.
Yes, like shocked.
Okay.
Anyway, like we just bought a home. Like I'm like, why did you propose? Like this was not in our cards. Like you just spent money on a ring. Like blah 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 blah. I was not happy about it. Like I was. On the other hand, though, I was like,
tough crowd.
Like, nobody knew. I was like I was shocked. Like I was obviously, yes, like we're married now, but
Yeah.
I was like, he just doesn't pay attention. Like that was not the time. Anyhow, I was just like writing in a journal how like frustrated I was with like this decision because like I'm in school at the time. He wants to get married, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just too stressful. But I was just writing in my journal, like how I felt about this moment because it was like a time that I should be happy, but like I was just upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upset about the ring because like it wasn't the ring I wanted.
You're like, you just wasted
I was like,
money.
Wasted all this money on a ring I don't even like.
We got that fig. Like, we got a ring.
Oh, okay.
But
you
anyhow, I'm just venting in this journal.
right.
And this journal is probably like 4 notebooks deep in a drawer in my office, in my house. This lady babysit my son one day. I guess just snooping around, read my entire journal.
No.
Everything I had in this damn thing. And then like a couple days later, just told my husband everything.
Wow.
I was mortified. Like,
That's really
I wrote
horrible.
everything. Because I was just like trying to like, how do I like tell my husband this stuff? Like, I just wanted to like be prepared. Like, I didn't want to be like, honey, like, you proposed. I just really wasn't happy about it. I really don't even fucking like this ring. Like, I just tried to get my words right in this journal, and she read everything.
What did your husband say?
He's like, oh my God, I don't know why. Like,
So he didn't care about what you said. He was more worried that his mother invaded your privacy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's totally supportive. Like, but what
That's
the
pretty
hell?
monstrous. Thank
That's
you.
pretty bad.
Thank
That's
you for
pretty
sharing.
bad.
That's bad. That's
And hold on, I want to add another thing.
Yeah.
I think this bitch stole my birth certificate because, so I was born in 94. Like, okay, whatever. Back then they used to put like everybody's social on the birth certificate. Like nowadays they don't. But anyway, she has a history of like opening credit cards in people's names. So like I have to make sure like I check my credit like all the time. Like I don't have like no American Express like pop up out of nowhere because she's crazy.
Wow.
So your birth certificate went missing.
Yes.
You can't. You
And
don't-
it's in the same area as like this journal was. I'm
I
like,
am not
girl,
I would not
you need
be
to buy a
surprised.
safe. You need to buy a safe.
you need a safe.
She's
And you
not
need to
allowed.
move
She is not
far,
allowed.
far away. I think that's probably the secret, right? To having bad in-laws is just living far, far
Yeah, how
away.
close are you to them physically?
probably like 10 minutes.
Girl, you need to move at least 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Does she still babysit your son?
Hell no. She's not allowed at our house.
Does your husband admit that she's crazy?
Yeah. What's his stance?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least you got a partner. You got a friend in him there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so
right.
much for calling
Thank
in.
you.
Thanks for sharing.
Bye.
Thanks for
Sorry
listening
it's
to our
crazy,
podcast.
So good. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
So I know a lot of you out there are struggling with hair loss, female hair loss. It's can be damaging to your self-esteem, and I've had a lot of clients that are really concerned about this. And I actually had a client a couple months back, and they were really concerned about how much hair they were losing, and they just felt like it wasn't as thick as it used to be. So I turned her on to Nutrafol, and I actually saw her last week, and she says that she already notices a difference in her hair fullness. So I'm so happy it's working for someone out there.
That's amazing. Yeah, us too, as in me.
Yeah, I have recently started taking Nutrafol. I don't know about you guys, but I went deep down in my Instagram. I don't know why I did this, to show somebody something from a long time ago. And I saw my hair 4 years ago. Has this ever happened to you? And I
Yes.
literally got so sad. I go, what happened? It was so much longer and thicker. Literally, what happened? And 30 million women are impacted by weakened or thinning hair. So if you guys are one of them, just know that you're not alone, and there is a solution that you can trust to deliver results. That is Nutrafol, like Lauren and Ashley were saying. Thousands of women have taken back control of their hair, with many users actually raving that the supplement not only transformed their hair, but restored their confidence too, because like, duh, hair is everything. So yeah, healthier hair growth takes time, and you'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in like 3 to 6 months after using it.
Really, what do you have to lose, guys? Just if you want thicker hair, try Nutrafol. You know,
Yeah.
what do you have to lose? Get your confidence.
You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and using the promo code GETIT. And new customers will get 20% off. This is their best offer available anywhere. Plus, you're going to get free shipping on every order. Get 20% off at Nutrafol, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GETIT.
All right,
All
so
right.
we are going to let in our next
Anonymous
caller.
number 2.
Here we go.
Hi.
Hello.
So we're keeping everybody anonymous right now, so we don't want to say your name, but we do want you to tell us about your monster-in-law.
Yes.
Okay, so I got pregnant at 17, and the way my family, I didn't tell my family till I was 27 weeks,
Oh,
which
wow.
that's like really far.
That's really far.
But the way they, yeah.
How did
The way
you
they
hide
found-
that?
Well, I got pregnant in June, and it was like I was like really not showing.
Big
and
sweaters.
Then, yeah, and then it came winter, and I just wore big sweaters, and so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
The way like my family found out was like totally, like, that's a whole nother, like, terrible story that happened. So basically when my now mother-in-law found out that I was pregnant, she didn't let my boyfriend at the time come to our house, to like face my dad or whatever you want to call it. Because at this point, my dad was obviously pissed. So she comes over, and I like clearly remember this whole situation where she comes in and she is like just insisting abortion, like insisting it. And like at this time, she doesn't even know how far I am. As far as she knows, like I'm barely pregnant.
Oh,
and so I'm like, oh yeah, nobody knew. And so she's like insisting it, and my mom was like, well, she's 27 weeks. Like, I'm not sure what you think is going on here, but, and then she was like, oh my God, what? And I'm like, yeah, like, and so, and then she starts just insisting adoption. And like, my mom, of course, like gave me all my options. Like, this is what you can do if you want to. And from the beginning, I was so set, like, no, I'm keeping the baby. Like, I know I like hid it for so long, but like because I was scared, not because I didn't want the baby, And so she just kept insisting, and she even like went as far as to like look up like adoption agencies in the area, and like, oh, here I can go with you. Like, it was just
she didn't
terrible,
want her
to the point
son
where
to
my
have
mom
a
had
kid.
to be like, no, I mean, he was a troublemaker. Like, I'm not gonna lie. He, like, growing up, he was like a bad kid, got himself into a lot of stuff. But so for her, like, she was always able to fix things for him. Like, she just would swoop in, fix things, and then like his life would go on like nothing had happened. Okay. So I mean, looking now, that's definitely what she was trying to do. But it came to the point where my mom had to like literally open the door and be like, okay, you need to go now. Like, we're done talking to you. And then like, my daughter was born a few months later, and I had like no relationship with her for the first few years.
Wow.
You mean
we
with the
had
mother-in-law?
to go over there on holidays, so there we were.
Wow.
Right, with the mother-in-law. Yeah, it was, I went because, I mean, that's his mom. What am I going to do,
Yeah.
But we had, like, no relationship. Now, I mean, my daughter's 10 now.
Wow.
So
Oh, my God.
things have gotten
Congrats.
so
That's
much
amazing.
better.
So sweet.
I cannot imagine, like,
thanks.
being with child and someone telling me what to do with it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
That's such a
Especially being
difficult
17.
situation.
I mean, I feel like as of like me being in myself now, I just be like, no, like totally screw you. This is all up to me. But I know at 17, I can't even imagine. At least you had your family on your
was, like,
side.
a whole,
You had a good support.
Yeah, for sure. I had really supportive parents. Yeah. But I never told him either, like, that she had done that, because she didn't bring him with her. It was just her. Like, she was, like, so insistent that he not come to my house until she came first. And so I never told him, like, your mom, like, insisted that I do this and was, like, so pushy about it. I just never told him, because I was like, what is that going to do, Like,
right.
It's really not going to do anything.
Are you guys together today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
Well, that's awesome.
Amazing.
well, look at that young love prevailing.
I know. I love it. Has she been sort of monsterish in any other way in the past couple of years, or no, because you guys didn't really keep in contact?
Yeah, we really didn't keep in contact. Really, probably up until like 3 years ago, we started having like an actual relationship with
Do you
her.
guys live close to each other?
Oh, yeah. Like at the time, I lived less than 3 miles from them. And then, like now we live maybe like a 20-minute drive.
Okay. We're seeing if there's a correlation between
So,
monster-in-laws and living close.
And like living close, because I feel like the secret is to maybe not live so close.
Not live close. Well, I think our relationship improved when my boyfriend had to move back in home for a little while. And so I kind of had no choice but to spend more time there.
Right. Whoa.
So I don't know, because for me, like, the relationship got better when we saw each other more often.
Interesting.
I'm glad everything's working out at this point. I'm so happy your daughter's 10 and thriving.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
coming
thank
on
you.
and
Thank
sharing your monster-in-law story with us.
Oh my God. Thank you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
She was so sweet.
Okay, so you guys know how I recently moved apartments? So it's so insane. My new apartment has so much more light, and I wasn't realizing. I had like one big window in my last studio, and I didn't realize how much like light affected my mood, and how I really am just one of those people that suffers from getting seasonal depression. So like when there's less light, daylight savings, when it's like winter time, I feel like I just get in a real bad like funk, really sad. So recently I've been using BetterHelp because I feel like the lack of light, especially in quarantine and just being isolated and like never leaving my room, really interfered with my happiness. And so BetterHelp is so amazing because it's so convenient. I don't have to go out into the world and, risk my health and like wait in an awkward waiting room when going to see a therapist. It's an online service. It's professional counseling. It's not self-help. And they can connect you with a counselor at any time, which is amazing. So if you're suffering from seasonal depression or just depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping trauma, grief, self-esteem, anything. I mean, it's 2020. We've been hit with so much. Am I right? This is a very convenient, professional, and affordable way to help yourself out.
In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. It's really a testament to how great they are. And I just love the fact that you can send a message anytime you're feeling down and you have someone there that's professional. So if you want to start living a happier, healthier life today, as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/getit. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/getit.
All right, we have our next caller on the line. Hello, Anonymous. Let us know what your monster-in-law story is.
Okay, so is it okay if I just start at the beginning? Because it's kind of, you have to kind of know the beginning.
Yes,
Okay.
Of course. Walk us through.
Okay, so my husband and I, my now husband and I, dated all throughout high school. And basically we broke up on and off multiple times because of his religion and his mom. And like his religion was like, you're not supposed to date seriously. He's Mormon, LDS. So they're basically like, you can't be tempted. You have to go on your mission. So I'd like give him a hand job and then he'd feel guilty and we break up.
Oh my God. That's so rough.
But it's like, that's how it is. Yeah.
You're just trying to pleasure him and then he breaks up with you.
I mean, if that's what you believe,
Yeah. Well, so it was just like, he would like go to like away to some kind of scout camp or any kind of thing and then just feel guilty. And again, we would break up. So that happened on and off a lot of times. And then once we graduated high school, we started dating like really seriously. And we had always been like best friends. So that's another like, layer to this is we were always just super close friends. So we got back together dating super seriously and his parents found out. They changed his curfew. So he's 18 now at this point after he graduates from high school. They changed his curfew to 10 p.m. They wouldn't let him drive their car.
Lauren.
Well, I think it's funny too that they did that because it's like teenagers like can't have sex before 10 p.m. Like there's no time limit. Like your hormones are raging.
Right. That's true. I was humping a pillow at 3 p.m. most times.
Exactly. Always. Also, the hormones and libido are wasted on the young. I'm just gonna say
it's so true. Like, can't we have that energy
I was
right
literally
now?
driving today thinking about like, wow, I wish I could get that horny as a fucking 8th grader.
I know.
Okay.
Damn. Where did all the horniness go? A memoir by Nestor.
We'll talk about this in our next ramble.
Okay.
Sorry,
Continue.
Okay, so sorry, I'm laughing about that. But okay, so they got really super serious. They took everything away from him. He even had to like turn in one of back then it was like flip phones. They even took like his flip phone away from him at 10 p.m. Like he wasn't allowed to have it. So it got really serious. After about 8 months of dating, he was telling me, I don't want to go on this mission. I don't want to be Mormon, like at all. And And so it got really bad. It got like to a head when his parents caught him talking on the phone to me. Can you imagine? So scandalous after 10 p.m. And
I can't imagine because I grew up super religious too.
Yeah. And so they got really mad. I heard them yelling when we were on the phone, and I was driving at the time, and I was nearby his house, and like I totally shouldn't have, but I like parked outside of his house because I was just like waiting. Like I thought maybe he'd leave. Like, I don't know. I was maybe hoping he would leave, and his parents saw me. They came outside. They told me to leave. Basically, they were pissed. So I go down the street, which is not too far from his parents' house. I was really good friends with his sister-in-law, who's married to his brother. We had been really good friends, and so I went to her house and I texted her, like, can I come in? Like, I'm so upset. Like, I don't know what's going on. They're going to make us break up. So she says, yes, come in. So I'm on her couch. No joke. I don't know. At this point, it's probably like 12 a.m. His mom comes up to the door, starts banging on the sister-in-law's door. She barges into the house. By the way, this sister-in-law has kids at the time, young kids. And she's like, you have to leave. Like, she's yelling at me to get out, even though like I was just coming to my friend for support. Yeah, it's somebody else's house. Can you imagine going to somebody else's house and doing that? And so I'm like speechless, and I'm like just frozen. And then I end up leaving just because I don't want this lady to wake up her kids. And so I'm like, I leave, whatever. I go home. The next day I find out they took him, my now husband, to his older sister's house to stay the night there because they didn't want me to know where he was. And like, it was intense. And then after that, they had him break up with me. Then they sent him to Utah without his phone to live with his grandparents.
Oh my God.
So
Wow.
It was like, I was like the devil. Yeah. That's what they thought I was.
So how
just
did this
being a normal. Okay. So
reconcile?
Then he comes home for Memorial Day weekend. And, okay. So we live right next, we don't live, sorry. We worked right next door to each other. So this is another layer. I worked as a lifeguard at a pool, and he worked at the rec center right next door. So they're like kind of like attached basically with the staff. And his mom had to go tell them like he had to leave. Basically, he can't work anymore because he's in Utah. And she told everybody what happened. And she said she told everybody I was like this crazy girlfriend, that I was suicidal because like all of these crazy like lies about me, and poisoned like all these. I was so young too. Like I was so traumatized at 18 going through that. Like everybody like making up rumors about me. It was, and since we worked right next door to each other, it was like, everybody, you know how it is. It spreads so fast.
Right.
So anyway, so he comes back and he goes to work out at the rec center, and like there's, by the way, where we live, there's tons of them. So he could have gone anywhere, and he went to the one right next to when I was working. So I like on my break, I went over there and I was like, you owe me like at least a talk. Like this is insane. And he was like, okay. And he agreed like we should talk. And, so we went out like to the desert or something and to talk. And, he had to, by the way, lie and tell his parents he was helping somebody move. And he's going to be
The
gone the
biggest
whole
lie
day.
of all time. No one's going to help someone move. It's such a lie. Okay, continue. Also, wait, I have a question before you continue. Did he have his flip phone in Utah? Flip phone?
No, they took it away, so he couldn't contact me.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like Romeo and Juliet. Right?
It's a crazy
They took
story.
his flip phone away.
So then we go talk, and the talking obviously leads to sex, And
Oh yeah,
and
all my
then-
talking always leads
I
to
know.
that.
I
yeah.
wish talking led to
Yeah,
that.
right. I wish. Anyways, keep going.
And so, I mean, because we never even had any closure. So I was almost thinking like maybe that was kind of closure. But I ended up finding out I was pregnant from that one time.
Oh my
So
God,
it's
the
very
parents are going to die. Stop it.
The devil's inside of you.
No.
And so, okay, so then I told him, and he was like, okay, like, let's do it. Like when we were like 16, he told me he was going to marry me.
Aww.
Like it was like truly for a long time. Like we always planned on having a family like way later on. So it wasn't like that. I mean, it was very shocking, but it wasn't at the same time. So
You're like, this is
then
part
we
of
told
the
his
plan.
parents-
Yeah.
So we told his parents, and his parents were really weird. Like they were just like stone faced. And then they were like, they brought up a plan that I could, so in Mormon like culture, they have wards, and that's how like they plan like who goes to church at what time and stuff. So a ward is basically like a neighborhood. And they said, there's this couple in our ward that can't get pregnant, and you can just give your baby to them. Like this weird open adoption situation. I don't even know if that's legal. It's very weird. And I was like so upset. I was like, I'm never coming back here. By the way, I totally like support a woman's right to choose. I just like wanted to keep my baby.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I don't care if he's involved or not. I'm keeping my baby. So basically they wouldn't stop with the adoption thing, which is weird as hell. And then every day, so he was still living with them until we got married. We got married like quick, like 5 weeks later after I found out I was pregnant. And
without approval, of course, from the parents. Did you like elope?
No, we didn't. We ended up, I mean, they came, but every day until the wedding, his mom told him, like, you don't have to marry her. You shouldn't marry her. Like, you know, all this stuff. So that was every single day until we got married. And then finally, after we got married, they did like their mother-son dance or whatever. And she was like, all right, fine, just baptize her as fast as you can.
Because
she thought that she was going to go
that
to
makes
hell.
it better.
Yeah, and because the baby was conceived out of wedlock, so she thought that would make it better.
Yeah, I think she was just worried. Like, they come from a really big family. They have 10 sons, and they all go on missions. My husband's the only one who didn't go on a mission. So I think it was more about appearances, honestly. I don't think she really, it's just, yeah.
Wow. But you guys are married now.
Yes, we're still married. It's been 11 years we've been married now.
Congratulations.
Wow. What I've gathered
Thanks.
from this podcast thus far is that, like, even with like people rooting against you or like crazy in-laws, like love prevails.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like
Which is-
everyone's really strong in the relationship and no mother-in-law can tear love apart.
And a lot of these,
hopefully that trend continues along this journey we've discovered.
yeah, and a lot of these have to do with unexpected pregnancies and the mom's, the boy's mom getting involved.
Right.
So last question is, how are you with them today? And like, how did you mend these wounds?
It definitely took a lot of years. I felt numb for a lot of years, and I didn't realize until I was later, like I wasn't dealing with any of the emotions and all the shame that was put on me for getting pregnant and, you know, everything like that. But she definitely like tried. She was just really aggressive always towards me. And like, I think about 4 years in, I started teaching full time, and we just got really busy with our own lives, and we stopped going around them because it was just like too much. We were too busy and then, you know, actually recently, about a year ago, it all blew up again because his family's huge. Like I said, they have 10 sons and 2 daughters. So they have 12 kids, and they were all in this giant Facebook group thread. And somebody was like, I just feel like we're not close anymore. And it was like this kumbaya moment. And I was like, I just have to say that I don't feel like I've ever been welcome in this family. I stood up for myself and said it. And I told the story, and they, like, so many of his family members didn't know. And so they like kind of like took my side, which was amazing. And it made me feel so good and so welcome with the siblings portion of the family. And so, and then his mom deleted me off Facebook and blocked me and like a teenage girl probably wouldn't even do that, honestly. But she just like went off. And then recently we finally called them out for not trying to talk to us for 9 months, like the whole pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah. And and they pretend like it's never happened. When I told them all those things that were upsetting me, she said that they didn't remember that happening.
Wow. Well,
it's so crazy. It's such a formative year too. Like, I mean, like you're 18, like you're literally like, it's a senior in high school, and having this older woman essentially like bully you, that really will stay with you.
Yeah. That's traumatizing. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on and sharing your monster-in-law story with us. And we hope you have like the best holiday ever. And I'm so happy. We're all so happy to hear that you guys are still together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have 3 kids, 3 sons.
Yay! That's amazing. All right. Well, Anonymous, you were great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for supporting
Bye,
us and calling
guys.
in.
Love you guys.
Bye.
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 So this next sponsor, I think This is my favorite sponsor name to say, you guys, and it's Bruche. It's just
a Bruche.
It's a Bruche, and it basically stands for this brand new toothbrush that we have all been using. That is just honestly the upper echelon of, I always forget how to say this, electric toothbrushes. I was going to say
electric toothbrush.
I was going to say mechanical toothbrush.
A motorized toothbrush.
A motorized toothbrush. This thing is insane. It's like the best electric toothbrush I've ever seen. There's so many different features. My teeth feel super clean. It feels like, did you ever watch like My Fairly Odd Parents?
I can't say I have, Naz. I'm sorry.
Aw, damn. It was this cartoon on like Nickelodeon back in the day, and he had like these Fairly Odd Parents, and there was like this, I can't believe, Lauren, there was this guy named Chip Skylark. He was like the hottest cartoon ever, and he sang this song called My Shiny Teeth and Me. Anyways, I always sing this song after I use my Bruche because my teeth are so shiny after using it.
The difference between using like a normal toothbrush and using a mechanical, let alone a Bruche toothbrush, is unbelievable. My breath is never bad.
That's good because Lauren's breath is often bad beforehand.
Beforehand, it was often bad because I'd be lazy and I wouldn't get the whole like pulses. How many pulses? There's 31,000 movements in a minute, so obviously your breath is going to smell good.
And the best thing about it,
in a manual is only 300.
Yeah.
So wow,
it's wild.
That's so freaking nuts.
It's wild. And they have all these different brush modes. So my favorite one is the tongue one, because you know how like with a regular toothbrush, you're just like a peasant, you know, like brushing your tongue. This one, literally, you just hit tongue, and it's like, it's like a massage on your tongue, and it guarantees good breath.
Also, if you have a friend who always has bad breath, maybe get them a Bruche for Christmas.
Lauren, that's so awkward and
but you
rude,
don't have to tell them.
But not a bad suggestion. My favorite mode is white mode, and there's 6 modes like Naz mentioned: the daily, the white, the gentle, the gum, the max, and the tongue. You guys can get 25% off everything store-wide during the Black Friday sale from now until December 1st when you use the promo code GETIT, GETIT, at Bruche.com. That is BRUUSH.com, promo code GET IT. You can try it risk-free for 90 days and get a 2-year warranty. Bruche.com, promo code GET IT.
Last thing I just want to say is that regular brushing is basically like hand washing your dishes, and brushing is like using a dishwasher. So, yeah. Try it out.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, we're just moving right along,
You guys,
here.
the themes here are insane. It all has to do with
know.
girls getting pregnant.
It's wild. All right. Well, we have our next person on the line. Hello. You are going to remain anonymous, but thank you so much for calling in. Let us know what your monster-in-law story is.
Thank you guys for having me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So my monster-in-law, I do have to say that I do love her dearly, but planning my wedding the last 2 years has been a nightmare. I think she was more of a bridezilla than I was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it started like when my sister and my mom were planning my bridal shower, and my mom planned most of it. So my sister decided just to have all of our guests RSVP to my mom. So my mother-in-law asked if I like approved the invites prior to that, and I just played dumb because I didn't. But then my sister filled me in, and she was like really mad that people wouldn't know who the bridal shower was for just because her name wasn't on it, my fiance's name wasn't on it, and basically attacked my sister. So then like the next couple of months, like everything was going fine until I had to postpone my wedding because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And she like really kind of at the time when we were debating if we would have to cancel or not, it kind of acted like she didn't want us to get married. And I was just kind of really hurt by that and didn't really have much sympathy. So then we postponed, and I just was a mess. So I wanted to be left alone.
Right.
And she's like, "You want to go to Walmart?" And I was like, "No, I want to be alone."
Wait, what?
Yeah. And like my parents, and like I told my mom and my parents the same thing. Like, we had to postpone the wedding. Like, I hope you guys like understand. Just give us our space. Like, we
She
need
was
to like,
thrilled that
this.
you had to postpone your wedding, basically.
I think she was like sad, but like relieved in a way too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like she like loves me too. And like, she does a lot, but just part of me, like that whole couple weeks leading up to like when we postponed, like things that she would say, it just made it seem like it wasn't going to happen. Like whether if like, she really wanted it to happen or not. So then I didn't talk to literally anybody for a week after we postponed. And she took that so personally, like was calling and texting like me, calling and texting my husband, like, are you mad at me? Like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys fighting? Are you guys splitting up? Like, I don't know. So things got better, of course. COVID started to get a little bit better. So I had my final dress fitting and my mom decided to drive down, which she lives about 4 hours away. And it was still like restrictions, like the restaurants and stuff, even were still opening up here. So I didn't tell anybody my mom was coming down.
Yeah.
And later that night, my mother-in-law was asking, like, what are you guys doing? I was like, oh, well, like my mom's here. Like she came to get my dress. And she's like, well, you can put your dress here if you want. And that same day, like my mom was here and my fiance comes home from work. He's like, where are you hiding your dress? I'm going to go find it. You better not hide it anywhere down here. So she like was really mad that like I took that away from her, but like she was taking away that experience from my mom.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
What, just
I don't know,
holding your dress?
Yeah, like to hide it from like my husband. And it's like, yeah, like my mom does live far away, but it's not like my mom would forget my dress. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
it's just storage. And like she has like 2 of her other sons that like are living at home.
You're
And
telling me this woman who was so upset that she didn't get to keep a dress in the house?
yes. And then so like we talked to like I talked to my grandma that day too, and my mom was like, or my grandma said, do you think it's just because she has all boys? And it's like,
yeah.
maybe, but
Oh, that could be it. Interesting. So then does this get, okay, go ahead.
it gets better. So it gets a little bit worse, but then like things are good now. But so then we decided we postponed our wedding till September. It's now July. And with COVID numbers still the way they were, we had to reduce our guest list from over 250 to about 150 people. So we automatically were like, no plus ones. Anybody that we don't talk to every day are not being invited anymore. We just really wanted like our immediate family, like aunts, uncles, cousins, and then a couple of our close friends.
Question. Did you guys already send out the invitation so you had to actually disinvite people?
Yes.
Ooh,
I
so
bought
hard.
invitations, sent them, had to re-invite people. So we did keep like a list of like people that we weren't inviting anymore to like tell them, and they were thankfully understanding. But so my husband's middle brother recently started dating somebody in May after my wedding should have happened in May.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I was like, hey, like, how do you feel about your brother, like not bringing a date? And he said he didn't care. So I took that as go ahead and let him know he's not bringing a date. She immediately texted me, are you kidding me? This is going to start a war with my family. He's bringing a date. It's his brother, for God's sake. And like, it did cause a little bit of a fight between my husband and I, but like it lasted literally like 2 hours and it was fine. And, I had to like really think about it, and like I had to like put her on do not disturb on my phone so like she wouldn't talk to me. And I just felt so like hurt that she like would say those things when it's like my wedding, and like I had to get rid of some of my best friends to like come to our wedding.
Yeah,
And
are you
this
kidding?
girl
They
who
dated in May.
I know. So then it was a couple weeks later, and my husband, without telling me, invited his family to our house for a bonfire. And she like cornered me in the house. Like I came in to use the bathroom, get something to drink. She cornered me. She's like, I don't want to hate you and I don't want to fight with you, but the way you talk to me is very disrespectful.
About the brother bringing a date?
And just like in general. And she was like, and I was like, okay, well, like in the way that you talk to me isn't. So then like when she said that text to me about like the war with my family, like we had like an hour that we were just like hashing everything out, everything I was holding in. And I was like, you didn't want to start a war between your family and your sons, but you started a war with me.
Right.
And like, she really was like, well, like, I know like things between them, and like, it's just going to really like hurt their relationship if you don't allow him to bring a date. And at this point, like, we had already decided we were going to do a backyard wedding. So I was like, if we're doing it in the backyard, just whatever. Like, I'm just going to, this is something I have to lose. Yeah. So, I mean, after that, like, hashing out, things like were a little bit tense still for like another week, but thankfully things have been pretty good now.
Now, let me ask, is the brother still dating this girl?
Yes.
Okay.
And I even told him, like, when I told him, I said, if you guys are still dating in September, like, I will reconsider. But as of right now, we need to just, like, I want to get married. And at the end of the day, we want to get married and be together. So you need to respect our decisions. And it was just a nightmare.
Wow.
So did you get married yet, or are you still waiting to do that?
Yes, we got married September 20th.
Woo!
Oh, okay. Very good.
Well, I hope the brother marries this girl.
I hope so too, but me and
but still, it was not
worth.
I don't know. Sorry, was I too loud in your ear?
You're loud.
I'm always so loud in Ashley's ear. Yeah, but I don't know if I had to like disinvite my friend.
I know. It's like,
like I love my friends.
Like, I was at their
like
weddings.
on your
we went to elementary school together. Like, it was just, they were at both my sister's weddings, and I had to uninvite them to mine. Like, it was hard. Well, it was really hard.
I'm happy you got through it. We're happy you're married. And thank you so much for calling in and telling us your monster-in-law story.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Happy holidays.
Bye. You too.
Bye. Okay, we got our next person on the line. Ashley, what would you do if you had to disinvite people?
That's so awkward.
So bad.
It's
awkward.
Literally so awkward. All right, we have our next caller on the line who will remain anonymous. We're so excited to hear your monster-in-law story. Tell us.
Well, I have been married for 5 years now. My in-laws have gotten better, but my wedding day was probably the worst that they've ever been.
Okay. Yes. A wedding day tragedy. This is the kind of monster-in-law story we're looking for. Go for it.
Okay. So I guess we'll start like 2 days before the wedding.
Okay.
I had set like an itinerary over for everybody like in my wedding party, just so like they knew where to be, when to be there, kind of thing, just so we didn't run into any chaos. And my in-laws, we put them in charge of like very basic things because they're not able to handle like complicated things.
Aww.
So our wedding was super, super simple. We just had like a dessert buffet, no dinner, a coffee bar, just really simple. Because that's like how we are. But I put my in-laws in charge of the beverages and the rehearsal dinner, 2 very easy things. And I literally sent like a list of every single thing that they needed to get. And 2 days before the wedding, they showed up with 2 liters.
Oh my God, I was going to say, please bring the drinks.
They showed up with 2 liters instead of like the cans that I requested because we were going to put them out in coolers. But of all off-brand sodas.
Oh, darling. Oh, no.
It sounds like my upbringing.
I was going to say, it sounds like Naz's parents.
This is literally what my parents would do. I'd be like, Mom.
For a wedding?
Yes.
It's not even the off-brandness. It's the not having it's like the liters.
It's
it feels like we just ordered like Domino's on a Friday night.
Not even. It's like you even go more all out for that.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And then they showed up with just one small bag of Walmart brand coffee.
Oh God. I'm more distressed about this than any other one for some reason.
This one really hits home for me because this is literally what my parents would do. It's like so obscene.
Lauren
like,
has
what
this
are you
thing.
thinking?
Lauren and I were raised like as like people who like our dad is just like such like an
You buy
entertainer.
more. You
buy
always
extra.
buy
yeah.
too much.
And Lauren
it
hates
stresses me when you don't have enough.
Lauren wants me to always get double the amount. Like if we have 4 people, I'll be like 2 large pizzas will be good. Lauren would be like, no, you need 4 large pizzas.
No, Lauren, I am with you too because I grew up the opposite. I'm like, no. Like comfortability surplus makes me happy. But wait, I have to ask you, Anonymous, before we continue. Are these people like financially strapped? Because then to me, I'm like, I don't know if that's like
they're fine.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
So they got Benjamins in the bank.
They just have like a few loose screws.
Okay, so continue. Okay, so I don't feel as bad laughing, I guess.
Yeah.
And then so with the 1 bag of coffee, they also only bought 1 thing of like powdered original creamer.
Powdered creamer. Now that's a horror story.
Ashley, this is like when you go to the DMV. This is like literally a DMV espresso bar, or like the one in Schitt's Creek.
So we were supposed to have like a coffee bar. So like I specifically sent like I wanted this many cans of this kind of soda, and I wanted like I even sent the link to like order like the little individual creamers of like, you know, different flavors and stuff. And that didn't happen.
You need an espresso, right, Ness?
A Nespresso maker.
Yeah, you need #Nespresso. Everyone buy it.
I don't even think that was around 5 years ago, but
Yeah.
Okay, so continue.
So that night my mom had to go after the rehearsal dinner and after like decorating, she had to go and buy soda and creamer and coffee.
Of course.
Which is always awkward because then it's like,
feel bad.
oh, you know, we know you got it, but you didn't get it the way we wanted it.
So, but what pisses me off is you sent them the link to exactly what you wanted. They didn't like show up and say, I'm sorry, like this instead, or it was just, that's just what they brought.
Yeah. And I had sent it like months prior. So like they had just gone to the store when they because we got married in a different state than they live in. So like when they got to Michigan was where we got married, they just like went to Walmart and like bought stuff.
Okay, so is there anything else monstrous?
Yeah, because to me that's not like
no, of course not.
Yeah,
we can laugh about it. We can laugh about it.
Yeah, we can laugh about that, but that's not like monsterish.
Okay,
what's monsterish?
Okay, I don't know if it's technically monster. It's more of like I just can't believe this happened kind of thing.
Okay.
So we had 2 days to decorate before the wedding, and we got married in like this really pretty old chapel on a lake, and it was just beautiful. And we had 2 days to decorate, and my in-laws, they adopted 2 dogs that like obviously they were abused, and obviously like they're very sweet dogs, but they don't like new people, and they constantly bark. Like I'm not talking like bark until you say hi to them. They like if somebody makes
oh my god, Gergie!
What are the odds
that is my dog?
Gergie was like, you mean like this?
Yeah, like this.
I was literally going to say that sounds just like my dog. He won't stop. He will not stop.
That's
okay.
the best thing in the entire world. Okay, no, like that's not even comparable. So they brought their dogs to help decorate the church. Now, these dogs will not leave my husband, his mom's side. Like they will not. And if anybody like makes a movement, they start barking and won't. They won't stop.
Very familiar.
So, and there's 2 of them. And not only that, they start growling like if you get too close.
Oh boy.
So we're supposed to be decorating like the chapel and the reception hall. We're supposed to be decorating all this stuff. And she can't move. Like she can't do anything. So she's just sitting there while all of us are decorating. And her husband won't do anything unless she's doing it. That's just how he is. So like they're sitting there with their 2 dogs barking nonstop, literally nonstop, as everybody around them is working. And they're just sitting there like twiddling their thumbs like,
oh my
hey.
God.
Damn. It's rough.
I understand this story. I relate to it so much.
Lauren. All righty.
I have more.
Well, we have to get to our other callers.
Yeah, I
we
figured.
do. But
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. It was entertaining.
It was entertaining, and every time I come across powdered creamer, I will think of you and this
I think
moment.
I came up with new I don't get it through this. So thank you.
Great.
Good.
All right. Bye. Have happy holidays. Thanks for calling in. All right, guys. I mean, wait, Lauren, what's an I don't get it you have?
You guys, wait. That
Well,
was,
I mean,
no, add it to the list for next ramble. I have to say that, like, you guys, that wasn't monstrosity. That wasn't monstery at all.
It would frustrate me beyond
It's
anything
frustrating.
else.
It wasn't-
Those in-laws aren't, like, monsters.
No, it was not a
they
monster.
Seem like nice people.
But I agree with Lauren. Like, it is frustrating.
It's frustrating. It's
Yeah.
funny. Like, I'm
That's
glad
what
she
brings
was
you
on
to
for the
madness.
laughs,
Yes.
you know?
All right. Well, we
Yeah.
have our next anonymous caller on the line. We're so excited to have you call in. Please tell us your monster-in-law story and tell us what the monsterish part is right away.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to talk to you guys.
Aw,
You have
Hello.
no idea. I am such a huge fan of all of you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
Thanks. So I've been listening forever, but I'll hurry. So first, let me just say, I am so happy now, and I have the best mother-in-law ever right now.
Okay.
But I was married when I was like 17. But that's a whole nother story. Why in the world that happened, who knows? But so it was literally the worst. So she was a huge alcoholic, and I mean, we had stuff all the way from she would accuse me of having an affair with her husband, which was his dad.
Yes,
Which
this is the monster
they-
we need.
Wait, how did
They
that
were like so old. I mean, they were probably in their 60s, and I was literally like probably 18 at the time, and they looked homeless for sure. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean, like, but legit homeless people.
She was saying, you're not just trying to get with my son, or you're married to my son, but you want to get with my husband.
Wait, why did she think
Yes.
that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like she was just crazy. I mean, but it was all the time, like, just random. Like, one second she'd like, my God, you're just the best ever. And then, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, an hour later, she's like, you're trying to have sex with my husband. And I'm like, whoa, what is happening right now?
gosh.
Like, I hate everything.
I think she's more worried about her husband than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was so terrible. But, I mean, like, we would go from that to, I mean, so, like, once him and I separated, I was still trying to keep the kids, because I have kids with this person, and I was trying to keep them in these people's lives. So they had the girls for the night. And I lived probably 30 minutes away. I got a phone call in the middle of the night. Now, keep in mind, these are small kids at the time. So my oldest was probably 3, maybe 4, and my youngest was 2. And so I get a phone call, and my oldest is screaming, like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. And I was like, oh, my God, what is happening?
God.
So I immediately, like, hung up the phone and called the police, and I'm like, you have to get there right this second. And so the police go, and they're like, I'm like, you just have to stay there till I get there. Like, maybe she's drunk, I don't know. But it turns out that she was playing some game that they decided was called Lions, and my youngest daughter bit her pretending to be a lion, and immediately she got so mad and was like, get out of my house, you bit me. And talking
to a 4 or 5 year old?
my 2-year-old child. And so I was like, yes, you're never going back there again.
Your 2-year-old bit your mother-in-law.
Yes.
And
she
she
said,
got
get
mad.
out.
She got, yes, legit, like,
Lord's
do
sake.
not come back in my house again. So then, of course, my oldest was like so scared, like, she's going to hurt the baby. She's going to hurt the baby. And I was like, oh, my God, what is happening?
Did
so,
the cops show
I was
up?
so far away. Yeah, the cops showed up. And at first, they're like, I don't know what's happening, because they kept calling me to keep me updated until I could get there. And so finally they were like, yeah, I think maybe she is drunk. And so I was like, don't leave until I get there to get the kids. And I never let them go back. I was like, no.
Yeah,
You're not going back
absolutely
there.
bizarre behavior. I'm surprised she was just drunk.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so crazy. I don't know, but yes, definitely monster-in-law, definitely the craziest. There are so many more stories. We could literally have the entire podcast full of this one person.
How old are the kids now?
My oldest is 17 now.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
moly.
So they have not seen their father's parents in that long.
No. And I have been remarried. I'm actually remarried to a woman, and we've been married for 3 years. We've been together for 7. And
congrats.
Thank you. And her mom is perfect and loves the girls just like their own. We're going through like an adoption process for my wife. And
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, I love happy endings. Wow, that's insane.
It's been great.
Oh man.
But all the rest was completely insane.
I mean, I can't imagine being with someone and the mother-in-law being like, "You're trying to get with my husband."
I did want to ask about that.
That's so cringe. Like, what do you even say? How do you act? It's so cringe.
How did she bring
what
that
did you
up?
say?
Yeah, like how did she like broach that topic?
Yeah, was she like, "You're fucking my husband"?
Yeah, literally. That's exactly what happened. I mean, and I was just so distraught. Like, how did this even happen? Like, what made you come to that decision? I have no idea.
The only normal response would be like, "You're absolutely insane, old woman." That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so weird. I mean, there was just so many weird things. We traveled all the way to New York one time to see his sister, and we let them ride with us. This was like a 19-hour car ride, okay?
And no, that's a prison sentence.
It literally was. And I was so young and just, they could have made me do anything. It was an awful situation in every regard. But so I was there. And then it was literally the middle of the night, her and his sister got into this huge fight, and we ended up getting kicked out in the middle of the night. So we just had to drive home in the middle of the night from New York.
You got kicked out of the car?
No, got kicked out of their house. Got kicked out
you got
of
to drive 19
house
hours back.
in the middle of the night. And meanwhile, she was so drunk and like screaming and acting like she was going to get out of the car while we're driving down the road. And I was like, get your mom. Like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Well,
control this.
thank you so much for calling in and telling us your monster-in-law story. So happy that, it's all come full circle and you're happy and love your in-laws now. But thanks for sharing all that with us.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I love you guys. Actually, my sister-in-law now, she was just in Rhode Island, and she was telling me that she went where Ashley and Jared got married, and she was so excited. She was like, oh, my God.
First of all, can they give you a commission? That place has become a tourist attraction now. Like the what? That's incredible. There should be like a plaque outside. Love prevails.
So much. She was like, Savannah is going to be so excited.
We'll say hello to her for us.
Yes, definitely. She's going to be listening for sure.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
thanks.
Happy
guys.
holidays. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Thank you. So good to see you. Bye.
You too. Thanks for your support.
Bye.
We love you.
Thanks. Love you.
Wow, guys. That was
good. We finished with the best of the monster stories, I'd say.
I mean, I just think if you're listening.
Well, actually, there are some of those births, those baby stories are horrible.
I don't know. That
well.
off-brand soda really had me going. Well, guys, if you are listening and you're spending the holidays with your in-laws and it's not going well, hopefully this podcast made you know that there's other people out there and love will prevail and it's all going to be fine.
Yeah, hopefully it put it in perspective for you guys. It could definitely be worse.
You're not alone, or it could be better. You could have Ashley's in-laws.
It gets better.
All right.
Well,
we love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Did you know that everyone has an aura? Do you know what color your aura is? Maybe you have a fiery red personality or a quiet and calm blue or green. You could be an organized and methodical yellow or an explosive purple. Come join me, Mystic Michaela, on my podcast, Know Your Aura, to find out all about how your personality can be explained in colors.
I don't